Have you ever wondered how to make crispy pan-fried noodles at home? Well, you're in luck because today I'll be teaching you my favorite noodle recipe just like at the Chinese restaurant. Aloha mai kako, my name is Relle and welcome to my kitchen where I like to share all my favorite island and Hawaiian style recipes. And today we'll be making Chinese crispy noodles, or what we like to call here in Hawaii, cake noodle. One of my favorite dishes as a child was noodles. Simon noodles, ramen noodles, fried noodles, pasta noodles, give me all the noodles. Those are always my favorite. And never fail when we'd order Chinese food or go to the Chinese restaurant, which we didn't go out to eat too often, but when we did, I always got me some cake noodles. Now, there's so many different ways to make cake noodle or crispy noodles, but this is my way, so hele mai, come along and let's make some crispy noodles. For this recipe, you're gonna need, well, noodles, obviously, and you can use any egg-based noodle. I like to use fresh chow mein noodles, but in a pinch, you totally could use the dry form if you like, or a different variety of noodle. So let's get started making those noodles. To a pan, set over medium-high heat at about 4 tablespoons of your favorite cooking oil, and then add the noodles. This is fresh chow mein noodles. You're gonna spread out the noodles evenly so it makes one thin layer in the pan so that it'll all cook through evenly. Then you're gonna let it cook until it's nice and crispy and brown on the other side. Now, I'm gonna preface this with, I'm not a chef. I'm just a mom who really likes to cook and bake and share my recipes here on YouTube. And it'll be a little bit evident in this video, but stick around because if I can make this, so can you. So continue cooking it until it's brown through, and when it's done, it'll look a little bit something like this. Now you can leave it loose like I did here, or you can continue cooking it until it sticks together in one big dish. Totally up to you how you like it. So here's the part that I'm not a chef. If I was a chef, I could totally pan flip it in the air and catch it, but I'll save you guys that. So what I like to do is toss it onto like a cutting board or something like this, and normally I would use another cutting board and flip it back over, but I tried to be fancy and do without it. So add a little bit more oil and flip it back into the pan. It kind of fell apart a little bit, but that's okay. We'll cook it down until it re-browns up and kind of sticks back together again. So go ahead and push those noodles down, get the oil on it, continue to cook it till it browns up, and when it's done, we can remove it from the pan and set aside. And now for the protein. I like to use shrimp in mine, but you can totally use beef, chicken, or you can leave out the protein and just do vegetable. So we'll add some butter to a pan over medium-high heat and the shrimp that has been peeled and deveined, and then we're going to add a little bit of garlic salt. The nice thing about shrimp is they have an internal thermometer that just tells you when it's done. It'll be done when it's opaque and pink throughout. And set this aside. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Growing up as a kid, I was a picky eater. I really didn't like veggies. Shh, don't tell. So as a kid, I totally would pick out all the veggies, take the noodles and the protein and the sauce and eat it like that. Now, not so much, and I love all of it. When I decided to have kids, I knew that I didn't want my kids to end up being picky eaters like me. So that kind of led me on the cooking journey. I had to teach myself how to make all these different vegetable dishes and really teach myself to like it because I wanted to make sure that they got enough of a balanced, nutritious diet. And now for the veggies. You totally can use whatever you like here, but this is what I like to use. Start with the zucchini. Just cut off the ends, cut it in half, and then you'll make half moon shapes like this. You want to try and keep them all the same size so they cook down together. And then you'll just cut them in half to make them a little bit smaller. Then the carrots, cut off the ends. I only ended up using 1 carrot for this recipe, but you can add more or less if you want. We'll make some matchsticks out of this so it doesn't roll away like it just did there. And you go ahead and cut it in half so it's flat, and then you'll make little strips like this. And then we'll add some mushrooms. Remove the stems. And then for these, all you're going to do is slice them up. So take each mushroom and cut them into a few slices, just like this. And now the bok choy. You can use any green here. I cut off the bottom and I like to save this to stick it in my garden later. So you'll just cut these into about 1-inch pieces, just like this, and move that over to the side. And then we'll move on to the next veggie, which is the onion. Cut off the top. I needed to rinse this one off a little better. So rinse it again, cut it in half, and then you're gonna make slices. Now, don't forget to cut the root like I did here. So you'll take that part off, the root end, cut that off and discard it. Cut it into strips, and then we're gonna saute. So to a pan over medium-high heat, add some oil and add the veggies. So we'll add the matchstick carrots. We'll cook it down for a little bit because that one takes a little longer. And then we'll add the zucchinis. Be sure to stir it around so that the oil coats most of the veggies. Then you'll add the onions. Mine are a little stuck together here, so try and tap it apart so they separate. And then add the mushrooms. This will all cook down at about the same time. So stir it through and be sure everything is well heated and starts to soften. Now, you don't want to cook these veggies all the way through so they get super soft, because then they'll be kind of soggy in the stir fry. You want to have it with a little bit of crunch. So you'll add the bok choy and get that heated through, and then we'll set that aside to continue cooking with your own heat of the pan. And now for the sauce. Add some chicken stock to a pan over high heat, shoyu, oyster sauce, some granulated sugar, and thanks to the humidity it's stuck to the container, a little bit of sesame oil, and some salt and pepper. You're gonna go ahead and whisk this up until everything is well combined and the sugar starts to dissolve. Now, if you like this recipe really soupy and a lot of sauce, you can make more, or you can make less like this. And to thicken it up, we'll use a little cornstarch slurry, which is just cornstarch mixed with water. And you'll continue to mix it. You'll see it start to thicken up quite quickly. If you like it really thick, then continue cooking it through until it's the consistency you want. And then it'll look like this and remove from the heat. I'm gonna add the shrimp to the veggie stir fry and toss so everything is well coated with the oil and the sauce from the shrimp. Then you're gonna pour in that sauce that we just made. This is the consistency I like. If you like it a little bit thinner, then you can add less cornstarch and water. If you want it thicker, cook it down a little bit more. And all you're gonna do is stir it up until everything is well coated, and we'll heat this through. And when it comes time to serve, which I can't believe the camera shut off for this, but you'll want to serve these veggies over the noodles right before it's time to eat, because if you put it too early, it'll be soggy. And enjoy! And that's how you make crispy noodles. Pretty easy, right? If I can do it, so can you. If you're looking for other Chinese style takeout dishes, then check out this playlist here. Or if you're looking for some type of sweets, then check out this dessert recipe playlist here. And until next time, ahui ho!
Thank you for watching my mom's video.